Hi, I'm Sammy, and I'm going through an art refresh, meaning new business card designs. And with a few goals in mind, here's how I got my design together and printed for the new year. I can confidently say I'm not the only one who comes home with a pile of artist business cards after convention. These were from the Fall Design Festa in Japan, and it's so cool how no two cards look the same in this pile. From these, and just off inspiration and references, I loved the contrast of full art on one side and a small logo or portrait next to name and email and all that information. I will say my design choices, just soft disclaimer, my design choices were based on preferences. As long as people are redirected to your website or your socials or just to see your art, anything works. Some of these were printed on paper, hand cut. Some even have amazing embossed details and top-notch printing work. And some are stickers. So it was very overwhelming to see that the possibilities are endless. And sometime in the future, I would love to go ham on premium card designs. But for now, with my goals and my budget, here's what I put together. Taking a look at my two prior designs, I've only had two designs in my cards, so there was definitely room for improvement. This one is from 2016 and made for career development class. So the turnaround was around a week and a half being an assignment. One side only, monochrome because I thought it was cool, and I did want to keep my name in bold, but updating my role to be more design over animation. This URL is no longer in use. So I really had to update that. I just keep these in my drawers as keepsakes. And fun fact, I do have the drawing that I did for this. It's probably way back in Tumblr days. 2016 sounds about right. So a quick scan and increasing the contrast worked out great in setting up this card. For a school project, it's not too bad, but I feel like I need to play around with color a bit more. In 2019, I tabled for Anime NYC and had to update my Squarespace portfolio link. Definitely had a bit more fun with the art and colors this time. I do believe there was a card design I saw somewhere online that had portrait and landscape. I will say these were definitely odd to stand up in standard card holders for my table, so that's why I shifted away from this design. And I will be honest and say I missed having a username or being known through a username over my full name. It just feels a bit odd, and it's something that I should maybe get used to a bit. But that's why I have the full C Sammy Art, and I felt like that was gonna be my over and done username, but I guess not. All in the right direction, but the back of this card is where I felt I messed up. I had pure brain rot at the time and did not think to add a QR code over this full link. Like, the full link is fine, but it's very long, a bunch of S's and A's, so definitely needed to update this. Both of these cards were printed and ordered from Vistaprint, and my total was $14.99, not including shipping and tax. So it was probably around $15 to $16 for 100 count. And while the quality was decent and it fulfilled my needs at the time, I had an ink mishap on about 20% of the cards. They stuck together and it smeared my portrait. So the coloring on some of the words and portrait were just peeling off. I only found out about this as I was cycling through cards to give at Anime NYC and like 2 other events. So it did suck to have to run through usable and non-usable cards and double check that I have stuff to give out. And I did place my new order with my local Staples. So here's a quick run through of that experience from order to print, just in case you want to check out Staples for their print needs, or it's just easier to pick up versus waiting for your order to ship. I used Illustrator to lay out my designs. In the past, I have used Photoshop, but I've grown to love Illustrator and using Vector I feel like it definitely helped out getting my business cards a bit more crisp in the end. On the left, I have screenshots of an earlier test design I had just so I can get the safety line correct. Tracing the sample out with a outline or even a rectangle would be your best bet to get the bleed area correct. And I was simultaneously working on my Etsy banner, thank you cards, redesigning my Artist Alley display and posters, just setting up a whole brand look to try to get this right. The print and marketing page on Staples gives you a pretty detailed explanation on their card guidelines and file preferences. I exported a PDF in CYMK, and after a quick check, everything was in line. The site processes the designs. You can get a PDF proof as well. I went with 500 cards for $31, and that was including tax. Standard 14 PT, and with a gloss finish this time. I normally get matte, but I figured I'd go with gloss to try something else. And yay, moment of truth, I placed my order around 11:40 a.m. and I got the email that they were ready to pick up by around 4 o'clock the same day. So I was pretty happy about that. And here they are, pretty clean cut, nice sheen on the cards, the thickness is good, and the quality was solid. I found no ink errors or smears as I ran through these to give it a whole quality check, and the box works great when packing for Artist Alley or events. My one complaint was this cutting error on 2 cards, but at least it was on 2 cards out of the 500. I'll happily take that over the Vistaprint error I had. And because of that, I had to run through all of these cards. Checks out great. I'm very happy with these. Please, I beg, do a quality check on your design before you place your order. Let me just show you where I went wrong. Here is my printed card and the QR code. Awesome. Scans great, works great, scans back to my landing page on my new portfolio. Fantastic. That's what it should do. And here is my secret first Staples order. Unfortunately, it goes to my expired portfolio site. I don't know where this haunted QR code came from. I don't know what possessed me to not just have a blank space when I finish my portfolio, but I might have been in a rush. I'm not sure. I'll take this loss as a huge lesson because I was able to change my exporting settings for the second order. On my second order, I submitted a PDF versus a JPEG, and I ended up getting crisp text, and I was able to do a slight color adjustment to help the full bleed art look a bit lighter. I feel like it's a bit dark in the original set, so I'm pretty happy I was able to make those changes. So it worked out. And that's the whole process. I'm super happy with these end results. I feel like they best represent my current work and the look that I'm going for. And most importantly, I can't wait to hand these out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this helps someone out there in need of artist business cards. Good luck and get your art out there. That's our goal this year, is to keep sharing our art. And if these cards help that at least a bit, I'm happy I took on this project. Thank you guys. See you in the next one.